Wait, ride camera. Oh shit! You can do it!
Matey! What is Planet Coaster? Much hype
Don't
around
know,
this
mate.
one.
Don't know.
Yeah, this is like, everyone is... There was a recent roller coaster game released, and everyone shits all over it on the Steam forums because Planet Coaster was coming out.
Was it that hyped?
Yeah, it's
I
really
got a
hyped.
little bit from our friends, but I've never ever delved into this type of franchise, so I'm sort of a little nervous, mate.
I've played a few of these in the past, but you're going to take this one. I've got legacy stuff to do. Are you excited?
Very excited. I
think
saw
this-
transmog and customization,
Yeah.
so I'm already sold.
I think this might drive you insane, but we'll see how you get on. All right?
Let's do it, mate.
Enjoy.
Select character.
Roller coasters, popcorn, all the ladies. Planet Coaster, my friend. I'm guessing there's no story, but is there a story? Campaign, maybe? Theme park hospital? I love these kind of games back in the day.
Well, this is it. Like, I'm new to this kind of genre. I had like Theme Park on the Amiga, and that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
okay,
Man.
okay.
But okay, let's go on to the story then for this. Obviously, there's not going to be much of one. When you get into there is scenarios.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where
Objectives to meet and such.
Yeah, for the all intent and purposes, you're taking over management of a theme park that exists, and there's criteria that you've got to meet. So like from one that I did, there was just an introduction one, build a certain amount of slides, getting a certain amount of people into the park, and get a certain amount of money each month.
Yeah.
But then there's other things like, I think there was one with an alien presence that keeps disrupting rides in the park.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. I mean, they know they can't do much with it, but so
Exactly.
they've just got a bit silly with it. That's
Yeah,
cool.
well, that's it. People want this game to do their own thing, but that element of the computer-based quests in there, it's nice. It's nice. And there's more to come as well. These are just like there was a couple for release, and then you can see like grayed out versions of more quests.
Oh,
for
did
those
we have to
areas.
buy that as extra DLC, or is it just going to come with it?
Not confirmed. Not confirmed. But all I got was from someone who's played this game since alpha saying there's going to be more coming upon release. And with them being small scenarios, I wouldn't expect you to pay.
When
for
you
it.
say small scenarios, then how long are we talking?
They vary, and obviously
Okay.
your speed of skill at the game. For example, the one where you had to build a certain amount of rides, revenue, and customers, you could do that between 30 minutes to 3 hours. I think it took me just over an hour or something like that to do that.
Did you have to end it, or did it automatically end? A lot of people I really enjoy this. Want to carry on with
That's
theme
the
park.
weird part is it did it and it lets you carry on with it. But
Oh,
it
cool.
Doesn't, it
That's
doesn't
nice.
give you a heads up. You've done it. You've got a gold. Well, it tells you you've got a gold, but it'll just carry on with it without pulling you out.
That's fine. That's cool.
So that's not bad. You can obviously there's the basis of a theme park there. There's already custom generated rides that you can actually look at more in depth after you've done the scenarios, so you can get ideas when you're building your own park.
So the scenarios, is that the career mode, or is that something just to test out theme parks?
Well, the three main modes in the game are there's the scenarios which we've just talked about. The sandbox where you basically get infinite cash.
Oh yeah.
Go as far as your mind can take you. And then there's career, where you start with a small amount of money, and then you have to build it on your own.
So career mode's separate from the scenarios. That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got sandbox just to goof around and make the biggest, stupidest roller coasters ever. Scenarios just to do little objectives and missions, and then career mode, which is don't fuck it up, but we're
This
not
is
going to
you
give you
now,
everything
yeah.
at the
This
start.
is you.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's cool. So everyone's calling this the dream theme park creation tool. So what was the gameplay? Did you find that? I mean, there's
totally
hype
agree.
around this.
It was a kid in a candy shop. I'm a sucker for transmog and customization, and then when I got into it, it was endless. And to be honest, this is just for me with my minimal skill set in this type of game, it was daunting.
Oh, it was a bit
It was
overwhelming.
really daunting. So I clicked on options where I could see parts of buildings, parts of scenery. It could be a pipe, it could be a wire, you know?
Oh, really?
Exactly. But thankfully, as like we only did a couple of scenarios because that was just a feel for the game in existence. But then when you start the career mode, you start from the bottom. Now, it's not daunting in this aspect because the learning curve is developed by your development of the park.
Oh, so every time
See?
you did something, you learned how to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the
that's
more,
so good.
obviously, you get your alerts, like a ride's broken down, or I'm sick of standing in vomit, or something like that.
Yeah, was it funny?
It was
It's
good.
important
It
to be
made
funny.
sense.
That's
It
what made games
sense.
like Theme Hospital really good, is that, you were hiring people who smell faintly of cabbage. You were doing all that kind of stuff. And because you're doing something that's, in many ways, if you looked at it in real life, it'd be quite boring.
Exactly.
But if they really spice it up and make it funny, then it can be so cool.
Yeah. So when we got into the park itself, it started off a little slow for us.
Yeah.
I say for us, like, 'cause I did it on the stream. So we only had a minimal amount of items before I took the plunge and got a loan.
Yeah, always dangerous.
I really don't
Always
like doing
dangerous.
that in
This
a
isn't
game.
tropical. I can't have a cigar and then just rip off the people.
But as soon as I started to get a couple of the pre-built rides, the revenue started to come in from the people coming in. We could raise the prices, and then we could go to our heart's content with whatever we built.
Question for you then. You keep saying pre-built and also heavy customization. So I assume they've just put both in, because some people will want to put every rail down for the track. But what are the pre-built ones then? So you could just slap that down like you were doing almost a Command and Conquer style.
Okay, so they give you the shops, the rides, the coasters, the track rides. All of them have pre-built and they have custom.
Yeah.
Now, you can research more of these items in custom. Then this is what actually segued me into the custom built things. So I was researching, let's say I was researching hot dog stands, food and drink, basically.
Yeah.
But when I got them, it was like a little pod. It didn't look like a shop.
Okay.
So I thought, I can't use these. And the pre-builts weren't going up, but then I went into the custom and I saw that you basically have to create a building to your theme and put these pods in like the counter of these buildings.
Oh,
that
so
you're
you create the
creating.
shell of a building.
Exactly.
And you have to furnish everything yourself.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
There's enough pre-mades of each style to fill your park up and to meet the customer's needs, but then you can just go and go and go until your heart's content. You can build a big arcade area type building. It's got burgers, coffees, fast food, that kind of thing.
Do not put a hipster stand in the arcade.
I should have actually highlighted the hipster stand. It would have- coffee for days. Coffee for days.
So
But
I guess
also,
you ask me
yeah.
whether you can name the rides and
Yeah.
stuff. It's totally part of that.
Well, that was the turning point for me as well, because on release it gave you 2 pre-made roller coasters. Now, I
Right.
wanted the money to get those roller coasters in because they're big cash cows.
Yep.
So once those are in, I had enough money to fuck up.
Yeah, that's what
Do
you
get
want.
I mean?
You want to be
Exactly.
risky. Yeah, you do want to
safe,
be
but
risky.
you want to be risky at the same time. So what we did was we got the rides in, and then I thought, fuck it, saved the game, built my own coaster. Now, I did have a couple of teething problems and a couple of elements that I didn't take into account until I built the coaster, because you have to test them.
Yeah, that's all part of the fun, though.
That is all part of the fun. It's good. It's a nice way to learn. And obviously, if you're building more, you've got that in your mindset then of what to do. And I like that more than reading it, if that made sense. Trial and error.
Can you murder people?
There is a
I mean, you
mode.
say you have to test it, so I assume you can't build one where everyone plummets to the death
Well,
horribly.
there is a mode in the game called, I think it was Coaster Crash. I didn't try this. Now, the objective is
That sounds like
literally
my
to
best.
send a coaster ride or a ride into crowds of people.
That sounds right up my alley.
Right?
I'm glad that's in there, because every now and again you'll be taking, like, it's like SimCity. You make everything wonderful, and at some point you just try to drop a tornado on
Exactly.
that bitch. Yeah, you do. And that's
Exactly. So that's all
really
in there.
cool.
So I built the coaster, and then this is where, once I got to work in it, you've got to take into consideration like chains to pull the cars up, stoppers to stop the cars, waiting areas for the cars when they get back to the station if you want to put more cars on and things like that. But it all came part of the fun. I sent my test cart around. You can get a complete in-depth readout of everything: tension on certain parts of the tracks, heat, nausea of what the rider would feel, fear, excitement.
Oh, so they could come off saying it was a good ride, but I felt too sick, and then maybe that's detrimental to people riding it.
Bingo.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, that's
why
interesting.
That's why you put chairs at the exit of your ride next to a trash can. Exactly
Oh, really?
that.
Oh,
yeah.
really? So you don't get
Oh,
don't get your man just cleaning up vomit all day.
So I did that in first person as well. Once the ride was ready to go, I rode it in first person in the test phase. So when you're going up the ramp and the chain's pulling you, you can see the excitement meter going up.
Oh, that's really
That's
cool.
really cool, but obviously fear's going down. No, fear's going up a little bit, but nausea's not moving.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to the top, and just about the dip, the excitement goes off the charts, the fear goes off the charts, the nausea goes off the charts, and then it's up and down as you get through the twists and turns of the ride.
That sounds really, really
It
fun.
was really good. So the actual sculpting of the theme park itself, rides aside, that as well has got the same amount of depth as the rides in the shops.
Question then: these pre-built roller coasters. Because I really didn't get a chance to see you play this because we were so busy.
Yeah.
But can you share them in the community?
You can. They're
Yeah,
actually
that's
on
awesome.
release. On release, I actually don't know if it was in alpha and beta 2, but it's connected to the Steam Workshop.
Nice. That's what I was hoping for. Because you'll get somebody. Because it's great. You always think you're the best designer in the world.
And then you
until
realise
Johnny 12 Fingers uploads something to Steam and you're just like, fucker.
Yeah.
That is.
There was one that I downloaded, a roller coaster called the Railgun.
I like it already.
Exactly. It is a
It's
space
certainly
ride.
better than Rita for those of you in the UK.
It was a space themed ride, but I couldn't build it straight away until I researched all the parts for the ride.
Oh, so you've got like the schematic.
Yeah, you need to get
okay,
the
that's
tracks,
cool.
you need to get certain elements of what's involved with it. I mean, the ride itself could have shops and things on the way out. You see what I mean?
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Awesome. That's so fun.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really glad they don't charge for that. You remember when Steam tried to charge for that
Oh
shit?
god, yeah.
Yeah,
that-
they
that
would be
got
all
done
over
very
this.
quick. So I mean, the one other element, like I keep saying, I've got a minimal basis for comparison, so games may have incorporated these things already. But another nice thing that I saw was trigger points on rides.
Explain.
Explain, okay. So I built a log flume.
Right.
It was a
Awesome.
pre-made
Best
one.
rides ever.
Yeah, it was a pre-made one, but what the hell? And I thought, well, I've got a space-themed area. Well, I had 3 space-themed areas. It was cool.
Nerd.
So I need a pirate-themed area, like a pirate water-based one. So we did that, and I built the ride. I built the scenery, and I thought, I'm going to give the terrain a go. So I built a very big trough around it so I could build a lake in there,
Nice.
and then put a huge animatronic kraken in it. Right?
Right.
So then I then fleshed that out with like parts of a ship floating on the surface, anchors and rocks and foliage. But then I found out that you can put a trigger point, so I did it. So I faced the Kraken towards the ride,
Right.
and then as the ride comes down on the big final dip, it triggers the Kraken to pop out of the water.
That's amazing.
Yeah, right?
That's really good.
And fire water at the people on the ride.
Yeah, exactly like you get in a proper theme park. I
Exactly,
mean, we've
so
both been to Universal in
you-
Florida and stuff, and that's all you get in those rides.
Absolutely, but you control all of that. The direction, the placement of the Kraken, exactly when it's going to trigger. You don't even have to have it to trigger. It can just be automatic. But the trigger point,
Yeah, the trigger point gives
raises
it that
the
personal
excitement.
touch. Yeah, exactly. Oh, so it did actually play into the
it
game?
actually raises the excitement.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fantastic. That is really good.
Because another aspect is as well, people take into consideration the surroundings of when you're on the coaster.
Yeah.
So I've got my space-themed roller coaster, which looked like I made it look like Endor, right? So it's got all the
3
trees.
sci-fi areas and Endor.
It's got walking mechs and destroyed mechs with like an army of aliens on one side. There's orbital cannons that I put into it that trigger on when you go past and doors open. There's troops shooting out of the doors and things.
I totally
It was
get now.
so good.
Every time I walk past your PC, you were like fucking about with so zoomed in, like so zoomed
wanted
in
it
on
to
your
be
screen.
perfect.
It made no sense to me, but I imagine you, with your nature of getting everything just right, was like this. This
It
is
was
too
beautiful,
much.
yeah.
This is too much. I'm gonna have to spend all my life here.
And of course, like I touched on it when I was testing my roller coaster, is you can actually go first person into someone who's in the park.
Yeah, I've been around for a while. I
Yeah.
think Theme Park Tycoon had
So
the
they
same
could
thing.
be walking
Roller
down
Coaster
the
Tycoon, I
street,
should
or
say.
they could be going past all your attractions. They could be on the ride, and you can see, like, obviously you'd have your rider statistics menu up next to you to see how much they're enjoying it. So all in all, I absolutely had a blast.
Is it true you tried to follow an old lady into the toilets?
We're going to get tits, boys. They've just been for a sneaky beach. That's it, love. That's it. In we go. In we go. Oh. Mate, I went out of my way to see an old woman take a dump and it didn't even show it me.
I'm sorry, but I've got to ask the question because I
That's-
heard you tried to do that.
That's classified.
That's classified. So what's your overall pros then? Because that was pretty gleaming.
Okay, so the overall pros is like it's glossing over what we talked about before, but I was very nervous about this kind of game, especially with the grandeur of depth, like of a management-based simulator. But as much as I was fearing that, I picked it all up in Korea at my own pace.
Yeah, the learning curve was really
there was
good.
a big learning curve, and even to the point where I literally finished it to make this video, there's still more to learn, but it's all at an easily digestible rate.
Cool. And any negatives then?
I'd probably say on release we had a couple of crashes. Now this wasn't to do with any kind of recurring mechanic that I attempted to do. It just crashed out. On the flip side, though, on the flip side, as a saving grace, it did autosave every time I crashed.
That's cool. I also noticed your FPS was around 40 to 50.
as I filled the park up, it did start to decline a little bit.
Yeah, and we're on powerful machines, so that might be something you want to consider.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Well, that was a roller coaster of a ride, mate.
Chief Beef!
I knew you was gonna.
All I've heard for the last, like, 2 days is Chief Beef.
You don't appreciate the power that is Chief Beef.
Well, you enjoyed the shit out of that one.
Unbelievable game. This is
okay.
like opened the door for all kinds of like simulation and sandbox type games. Yeah, absolutely.
How much?
26 for the normal, 29 for the Twister version.
David
Pretty
Blaine.
worth
Give
it.
it a David Blaine. Yeah, well played. Frontier Games.
Frontier Games.
Frontier Games. Well played on that one. So if you enjoyed that video, please check our previous one, which was Gears of War 4, mate. Yeah, pretty fucking serious. And you can also check out our live stream every weekday from 8:30 a.m. That's UK time, y'all.
GM Tizzle.
Until then, we'll see you again.
Peace!
All right, time to introduce the new cog to the old cog and clear these bucketheads out of my house.